sure you're not surprised that you won. I'm surprised you won by scoring 102 points.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but, you know, Dave, you were sitting there. We had pretty much the same shots against Kansas and didn't make them. Remy had the same shots, and today we made them. Today he made them. Terry didn't have the same kind of game he's been having on, I don't know what day it is, on Saturday, I guess. And today he made shots. When those guys make shots, we're pretty good. And we defended better. This was maybe the best job we did defensively.
It seemed to be kind of a mismatch for you because they can all shoot threes. What were you able to execute defensively that held it down some?
Well, Freddie does a great job. Freddie does a great job of taking advantage of mismatches, taking advantage of, you know, they do a great job with DeAndre Kane, posting him a lot. They post him against small forwards, and we had Terry Henderson on Hogue, and Hogue's, is he the leading rebounder in the league maybe? And Terry did a pretty good job on him. You know, but whatever the score was, 8-2 or 8-4 or whatever it was, or 8-6, maybe we made a couple of threes, but we hadn't stopped them. And we went to matchup. We played matchup and kind of, I think, got him out of rhythm a little bit.
Bob, I tried to count during the game. I think Iowa State only made 5 baskets from beyond 10 feet. Almost all their shots were layups. Is that part of the defense, or just
we didn't want them to make threes? We wanted to. When you look at when they've played really well, they've made a bunch of threes. That was by design. I mean, I didn't want them to make all those. Don't get me wrong, but we wanted to take away. We wanted to take the 3-ball away from them. We don't know what we're doing. Yeah. Well, I told them at halftime. I said, you know, I think we got them confused. They don't know what we're doing, and it's probably because we have no idea what we're doing. But when we were pretty good at doing it, we didn't know what we were doing, and we just did it pretty good, whatever it was we did. Oh, it's, you know, but it changes. Everybody, you know, Day and those guys last year, I would get all these coaches like, can you tell me what you guys did with the matchup? And I said, no. Okay, I don't know. And, you know, everybody thinks you're trying to keep a secret. We played everything different. This is the best we've been, though. I mean, by far the best we've been.
Bob, had you seen a shooting performance like this coming from your guys' practice efforts and such?
Well, you know, it's an amazing thing when you get in the gym and you get a lot of shots up, your chance for success increases dramatically. And the first guy in the gym when I walked in on Sunday was Remy, and the last one to leave was Remy, and the last one to leave shoot around today was Remy. And so, yeah. I mean, generally it's Wani. I mean, generally it's Wani's the last one to leave, but you know, I guess it doesn't guarantee success, but it sure gives you a better chance. And he made some early. You know, I think when you make some early, that gives you some confidence. But he shot it really well today.
Coach, another defensive question. Melvin Edgem scores 48 Big 12 record, and he only has 1 field goal in this game. I guess, how'd you do it?
Did we let him get one? Yeah. We just changed defenses. That's all. I mean, we didn't do anything special. We changed defenses. That's. I mean, they were trying to ISO him on a block, and he's a heck of a player. I mean, and I think we did a better job in transition defense. In all honesty, you know, when you go look at the film, they score a ton of points, and he scored a ton of points. I don't know what day it is. Saturday, I guess it was. In transition.
Does the flagrant 2 foul have any effect on Aaron next game?
No.
Bob, I know this is probably, the way things go tonight is obviously not going to happen every night. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure you know that. But you've played pretty well offensively since that Baylor game. And you said even within games you haven't been able to sustain things. This was 2 weeks of playing pretty good offense. Is there a sign that's come around, like you would imagine earlier, besides the 102 tonight?
Well, I think we got a bunch of young guys, and our guys that are young haven't been here very long, except for Kevin Noreen, and they're starting to understand what you tell them. We're not running a lot of sets. We're trying to have them play basketball, but we're trying to have them understand what the defense is doing and what counter they make. I mean, I think that's the best way to play basketball if you can do it. And I think their understanding is getting better. I mean, I really do. We just had a ton of new guys that just they tried. It wasn't I never sat here and said they didn't try. They've tried. They've tried all year. It's just the more and more you coach them, the better and better their background is, and so they start to understand things better. And we did a really bad job against Oklahoma, was it? Oklahoma and Kansas of slipping that ball screen whenever they, the whole deal was they wanted to kind of not double team, but kind of double team Wani or Aaron or whoever came off that high ball screen, and we didn't. We just stood there, and our focus has been for those guys to slip. And Brandon, got a couple against Kansas. We didn't do it near as much against Kansas as well we needed to, but Sweat slipped it, and then all of a sudden they can't stand there and try to stop that penetration all the time. And
Coach, is there any way to describe the kind of role that Gary gives you, the tough physical play from the guard standpoint? It seems like he's tangled with someone every game.
I can relate, Yeah, he does. I mean, he gives us toughness. He's I'm trying to get Gary to understand he can't guard all 5 of them. He tries. He just runs from man to man. Whoever's got the ball, he's like a dog chasing a bone. And invariably, somebody ends up being open, and he's getting more and more disciplined in that regard. I mean, we want him to play hard, and we want him to do the things he does, but he has to do it in the team concept, and he's getting much, much better at that.
Players were talking about how you discussed NCAA tournament chances with them.
I don't lie to him, Justin. I mean, I think the worst thing that could happen is at the end of the year they would say to me, I wish you would have told us. I've done it all along, and there were people who said, well, are you putting pressure on them? I mean, if I was them, I'd want to know. I'd want to know what you got to do. I got, what our RPI is, what the people's RPI is we're playing, and what we got to do to get our RPI in the range that we're talked about as an NCAA tournament team, and that's what I said to Mitch. I was joking with Mitch, but it's the truth. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. We're not sprinters. We're marathon guys. It's a long year.